Hey everyone, what's going on? Yokuo here, and welcome back to Kirby Superstar on Yokuo Plays. Today, the arena. Now, last time we finished Milky Way Wishes, which is the technical end for the game, as far as story and full games are concerned. However, we have the arena, a bonus mode that we have to get through to get 100% on this game. Right now we're in a power-up room, and I believe every power-up is here, except for the one-time use abilities. Now, this may look familiar from last part, and you're gonna get a little bit more of that before the part is over. How the arena works is, it is a boss rush of all the main bosses of the game. From Dynablade to Milky Way Wishes to Great Cave Offensive, if it was a main boss, it's here. How the game works is you play the boss just like always. You have 1 life, and 5 maximum tomatoes in a lobby room between battles. Use the maximum tomatoes wisely, get through the arena in one piece without dying, or you lose. And as I said last part, you have to take that hit there. I mean, there's a small window to get through it, but honestly, you're probably going to get hit. We have 18 games left. That took away my partner, which is kind of annoying, but at least they gave me another mirror ability. So there are 19 fights altogether, including that one. And at least they gave us an easy one to start with, even if it did take my partner and destroy him for some reason. And we can finally learn the names of all these enemies. That's helpful. Gamelio Arm. Gamelio Arm? Yeah, that is a C with a star right behind it. That's a little inconvenient, isn't it? Gamelio Arm. Did not know that, but it makes sense, considering he shoots his arm at you. Ah, clever. Grab that ability before the screen fades to black. Okay, so far... But we're gonna go fight the RPG next, so I think we'll be okay. In the lobby, you get the choice between 2 abilities, or of course you can always just keep the one you had already. You have the 5 maximum tomatoes, and on the right it tells you just how many battles you have left to fight, and if you can identify the picture, you'll know who you have to fight next. Right now we're fighting the RPG, which is just called Computer Virus. And then you have the Witch and the Evil Knight. I'm trying to remember who comes up next. It's probably the Dragon. I was thinking there's a 4th enemy that you sometimes fight instead of the Dragon. I don't remember right offhand, to be honest with you folks. It's a couple of parts back, though, if you'd like to check that out. I believe it was in the Great Cave Offensive that we saw the other enemy. Evil Knight stores energy, so he is powering up for an attack. But that's okay, because we have the mirror ability, which lets us reflect everything away from us. Pretty nice. And this RPG is just charming. For those who are not... Yep, Red Dragon. For those who are not familiar, the windows on this RPG game represent MS-DOS, the old operating system. Well, it's not technically old. It's still there in fragments. But I'll put it this way. I am more familiar with it from the olden days of computer usage. So like Windows 95. Which I know isn't the real olden days of computer usage, because you had Windows 3.11, I believe it was. It has been years since I've messed with 3.11, or 3.1, or whatever it was called. Super old Windows that had, like, you know... archaic programming at the time was really convenient and cool to use. Okay, what bothers me about that, they don't give you the happy little experience point spoof. They're just like, okay, get out, go to your next fight. Yeah, sorry guys, I got back on topic a little bit there. Oh, Bird is not a good ability to bring in here, but in my defense, the ninja ability really isn't either, although it might have been a little better than this. So I have to fight Wispy Woods halfway legitimately? I can't just cheese through the fight this time. And cheesing through the Wispy Woods fight's half the fun of the Wispy Woods fight. Also, I was sweating here when I was playing the game, because I'm about 2 hits from dead. If I died against Wispy Woods, it would bring shame to my entire family. That's an exaggeration. I'm trying to decide how I want to play this. And I decided that I wanted to go ahead and grab the tomato here. Because this enemy is kind of a pain, and I've already been hit once. So if I had been hit one more time, that would have been game over had I not taken the tomato. And they do give you 5 tomatoes. And to be fair, this fight's a little tricky, and the gecko chameleon arm is a little tricky as well. For the record, this is called the combo cannon. Which makes sense. I mean, it's a cannon, and it's got a killer combo. There we go. Killed the arm. But the arm always comes back. Which is unfortunate. Dodge under that. I do believe you can get the bomb ability from that bomb that it spits at you. I almost got grabbed again. Kinda glad that I didn't. And I get nothing. So, my partner gets to not exist for a little bit. That way I can take down Double Wispy. If previous experience is any indication, the partner would not have been helpful here because he would have stood in the middle and tried to attack it from far away. But we defeated Twin Woods. That's their name, Twin Woods. And now we are gonna go fight the Hammer Brother! And some other guys. There are a couple of these arena-style fights that you have to do also. Probably just to mix things up, to add a little bit more to the arena itself. It gives it some extra flavor. And it gives you a chance to fight some common mooks and have an easier battle. Well, easy is subjective considering we just fought Wispy Woods and Twin Woods. Who I would honestly say are easier than this. By a long shot. Come on, not Bugsy. Bugsy's the name of the partner. I'm not sure what this one's name is itself, but I assume it's pretty samey. And now we're fighting Moby Dick! This is me trying to decide how I want to play this. If I'm ever just standing around in the lobby for a few seconds, I'm trying to decide how I want to play the fight. Honestly, because I can actually absorb powers here, which I'm not used to being able to do. Ow. I did not want my mirror partner ability to become Hammer. I was trying to get a stone or something before that happened. But since you can actually absorb abilities in this version, I went ahead and did just that. I took the rock and became Stone Kirby. Which is, I think, the easiest way to fight this guy. It may not be. There might be something somewhere that you guys know about. But I am unaware. And here I have to be careful because I'm getting close to dying again. So I needed that stone ability more than he did. Also, I've noticed during the editing process, and I'm pretty sure it's this way on YouTube as well, random aspects from this fight just disappear. Like sometimes you won't see the bridge, or sometimes you won't see the water whenever the waterfall technique is happening. Just so you're all aware, there is a waterfall spewing up, or like waves of water spewing you up. So that's what that's about. Something about the video, or maybe it's just YouTube itself, can't quite keep up with it. I've noticed it in my editing process, but I'm using Premiere, and my little editor window is a very tiny window compared to what you guys are seeing, which is probably the full size of your phone or your computer monitor or whatever you're using. Your Xbox? I don't know. How do you guys stream these days? I always use my computer because it's convenient for me. Unless I'm on the road, and then I'm like listening to podcasts on my phone or something like that. Or if I'm the passenger, I'll just watch videos on the phone and entertain / distract / annoy whoever's driving. Sorry, whoever's driving. I don't mean to be obnoxious. Speaking of obnoxious, it's Bugsy! We were just talking about you. And get stoned. Sorry, I had to make the joke again. We're almost done with Kirby. I had to go there. Okay, this fight. I really should have gotten rid of my partner before I even came in here. But it's okay, because the game will take care of that for me pretty quickly. That laser shooter will either attack you or your partner, Oh, okay. Apparently I'm taking the initiative here, or not? I don't... I was taking the initiative, and then I saw my partner's life. Realized that would happen. And just went with it. That laser pointer will either track you or your partner, but you never know which one. And the only way to beat this boss is for the lasers to hit the diamond crystal reactor generator power-up thingy-imajig. That is the technical term, yes. And we kind of want Halberd's reactor to die. Even though we destroyed Meta Knight's ship, even though Meta Knight's ship will return in other games. Don't ask me how the Kirby economy works. Please don't ask, because they don't have money. They have little star piece things that you'll start seeing in Kirby 64. I don't know. Speaking of Meta Knight, he's kind of mad that we took out his engine again. So we're gonna go do something about that. But we're not gonna play by his rules. With Meta Knight's fight, as you know by now, you have to grab the sword. Or I can ride wheelie and cheese this entire fight. I'm pretty sure the power-ups that you're granted before a fight are completely random, and it probably cycles through the entire gambit at least once. I know I only had one opportunity to get the mirror ability once it started. So it just happened to give me wheel, and I just happened to be fighting Meta Knight, who I never have to use a sword against, and didn't get hurt against for the first 4, 5, 6 of it. All I'm saying, not bad. Get out of here, Blue Kirby. Does anyone know why Meta Knight is Blue Kirby? Because I'm honestly not sure. Okay, we have 8 games left. We're doing pretty well in life here. We have 3 tomatoes still between these 8 games. So, you know, doing pretty well for ourselves here. Doing pretty well. Unfortunately, the sword is a little annoying against Wham Bam Rock, because if you're not careful, Kirby will fling himself toward the hand, then the hand will let up, expand, and you get hurt. And my wheel is dead, and I am mixing. Beam is not the optimal result from the mix, just to be clear. Also, I didn't get another rock for myself, so now I just have to play the waiting game, or take my partner as my own. That sounds really awkward. Don't you fist bump me, I'm just a face! Alright. Generate the partner. Get rocky with it. We're gonna rock this thing, guys. We're gonna be stone cold with this guy. We're gonna rock his world. Yeah, I can't think of any more puns. No, that's why I've been quiet. I can't think of anything. Hey, partner! Grab the frickin' stone! Or not. He just stood there! There was a power-up like an inch in front of his face. Also, I'm about to die. So now I have to play this really carefully. And by carefully, I mean make a partner to do all my dirty work and hurry and hit the... No. So, honestly, I'm being way too brave here. But it's okay, because my partner did do the dirty work for me. I was definitely being more brave than I really should have been, considering if I had been hit one more time, that would have been game. Speaking of game, now it's time to play a game of Whack That Bird. I didn't want the hammer. I wanted to stay rock. However, I felt like hammer would be beneficial here. But I've got to watch my life, because now I have 2 maximum tomatoes, and that last boss fight took like an entire health bar out of me, almost. Now, the boss order is random, except for the very end boss. Number 1 is always the same fight every time. Look at that face. Just look at that face, guys. Oh, he died. Dynablade! Thank you. I couldn't hit it. Here, become a rock again. Good job. Attaboy. And now we fight something that's just a little bit shellfish. Shellfish, get, it's a pun. We're fighting Heavy Lobster, who immediately whacked the power right out of me. Here, you want it? Take it. You want it? Take it. Hey, Rocky, you wanna, do something? What are you doing? Ow! Charbroiled Kirby is bad, Kirby. Hey, he hit the enemy. That's so helpful. Ooh. And here is an accurate depiction of what paint does against the lobster, finally. It changes its color and blinds it, so now it's just attacking erratically. It really doesn't know what's going on anymore. I'm being completely serious. It is attacking erratically and has no idea what it's doing anymore. So its attack pattern is completely spontaneous now. I mean, it thinks I'm over there. It really is blind. I cannot emphasize that enough. And it's just kind of entertaining. One more hit. I backed away to make sure I wouldn't get hit by fire again, because, fire is bad. Oh, look! It's Waddle Dee, the most powerful enemy in existence. Whatever shall we do? How will we win? Once again, not being sarcastic, it's a golden Waddle Dee. And he died. There might be something to that, like something else we can do. I'm not incredibly sure if there is, but I'm not aware of anything you can do with it. Usually mooks like that'll have some kind of special thing you can do with them. I'm not sure. All I know right now is we are fighting Lololo and La La La, who I think are references to another NES game. I think it's called The Adventures of Lolo. I'm not very familiar with it, so I'm sorry that I'm a little unsure here. But I believe this is a reference to that series. Like I said, I've never really played it, but I know that the characters look like this. And, Lolo. Although I think it's just two Lolos in that. Someone correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, because I very well could be. Now, Wheel is obviously not going to help against this next guy. We are grabbing a tomato just for safety. I don't know that I would have needed it, but I might as well, because I have 2 fights left after this one. And we will absolutely take a tomato before the final fight. Since the final boss is fixed, you always want to make sure you have a tomato ready for him. Also, Plasma is really effective against Kracko, who I did know his name, but had forgotten. Also, did you see Rocky when he was flipped over? His eyes were bugging out. And now it's time for the king! The ultimate King Day Day Day! And he's gonna get that thar Kirby. That is a reference to the American dub of the anime, where King DDD sounds like a southern plantation owner. And his minion, Escargot, is... well, it's his minion, Escargot. He's a snout. I have nothing else to say about that, except for the obvious. DDD Smash! Oh. I wish I had the rock ability, because I like fighting him with rock. It's kind of fun just rock smashing him over and over. Okay, King DDD is King DD dead. And our final boss, which is the same final boss from the last part, Marks. I'm trying to decide what to use against him right now. I know that I want my partner to stay Plasma Whip. I settle on the Ice ability, because it's fundamentally the same as using the Mirror ability. You have a projectile, kind of, a mid-range projectile, and you have a swirly dash thing. So it's essentially the same strategy. And luckily, as I said last part, Marks is much easier to fight than Nightmare was from Kirby's Adventure. So with Nightmare, there's every possibility I could die in this fight. With Marks, it's not going to happen. Also, one of the key differences between Kirby Superstar and Kirby's Adventure that I don't think I've touched on in this entire playthrough is the life bar. In Kirby Superstar, there is, well, a life bar. In Kirby's Adventure, you had 6 hits. No matter what, you had 6 hits. This, some things do more damage, some things do less damage, and you definitely have more than 6 hits. They made it easier for this game, and future games, I believe, all adopt this life bar style. Once again, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about that. There might be an outlier somewhere that doesn't use the life bar system. I don't remember what Kirby 64 does. I've only played it a couple times, and it's been a long time since I have. And honestly, the next time I play Kirby 64 will probably be for the channel. So, I mean, we'll talk about it then. But that's probably a long time off. Just as a heads up. Also, as a heads up, I do plan on doing Nintendo 64 games eventually. So, just in case anyone was curious about that. Meanwhile, I am not doing too bad. Half health. Marks has 1 hit. And he is defeated. Which means we beat the arena. Which means we've got 100% on this game. Now, it says it took me 13 minutes, 17 seconds to do this. Look at the time we're at on the part, guys. I'm pretty sure it doesn't count anything outside of when you're actually in a fight. That's the only way it makes sense, because this has definitely gone on 7 minutes longer, almost 8 minutes longer. Now, as I was saying, we are now at 100% on this game, so I just want to show that off real quick. Boom! That is what 100% looks like. 1 star for each of the main games you do, and the EX for the arena, for the extras. And because we beat the arena, we got the sound test, where you can test the music and the sounds. And that'll pretty much wrap up Kirby Superstar. We do have an extra part coming next time before we switch games, so be on the lookout for that. I have kind of a fun little bonus part planned for that. But until that time comes, we will see you all next time. Hope you enjoyed everything going on, and let me know in the comments what you think about what's going on with the channel and about the things that I generally brought up. Things that I might be wrong about, questions I had during the playthrough. Do my research for me. Just kidding, guys, but for real, help me out. Anyway, that'll pretty much do it for Yokuo Plays for this time, and we'll see you next time. Bye!